Gabby. About the extent of my Tagalog. My name's James from the USA, and I'm over here in Manila doing some testing out the market here. And I wanted to tell you, a friend of mine the other day, he told me this story. And he told me a story about an actor. This actor was from Florida. He just dropped out of college. He was struggling to get a job in acting. After 3 or 4 years of trying, he gave up and he became a writer. And he started writing. He was writing for 2 years. And he could never get any of his written words up on film like he wanted to. They didn't accept any of his projects. They wouldn't pay him for his projects, for his materials. They weren't good enough, they said. But he kept trying. One day he's at home. He walked down to the store. He had to feed his wife and daughter. He had no money in his pocket. He took his dog with him. He sold his dog for $50 that day. So he could have money to go home and feed his family. He went home that night and he's watching television. During the television show, a boxing match came on. There was 2 boxers boxing. And the one boxer would hit this guy, knock him down, and he'd get back up. He'd hit him again, a couple minutes later, knock him down, he'd get back up. The guy just kept getting back up. Time and time again, he got back up. He wouldn't stay down. And what happened is, he got an idea. So for the next 24 hours, he got out his pen and paper and he wrote a story. And he wrote for 24 hours straight. At the end of that night, he had written a script for a movie. It's called Rocky. Some of you guys have probably seen it. He took that script to hundreds of producers, and they all told him the same thing. It's not a good movie. Nobody's going to go watch a movie about a boxing. It's not good. It's not good. We can't pay you for that. Finally, you got somebody who says, "Oh, that's a good script. I'll pay you $20,000." Then he went up to $100,000. And he didn't want to take the money because he wanted to be the starring actor in the role. They told him, "Listen, we'll buy your script. We'll come back. We'll give you $400,000, but you cannot be in the movie." And he told them no. He didn't have any money in his pockets, but he was persistent and he was relentless. And some of the traits I wrote on that piece of paper before you is what we're going to cover and talk about tonight. So what happened to him is finally he had somebody, they offered him $25,000 for that movie script. He accepted, which is a whole lot less than $400,000 that he'd offered. And he took $15,000 of that dollars and he bought his dog back. Because the guy knew he loved his dog, so he rooked him on that. And he also had to give the guy a part in the movie. That was the agreement, to get his dog back. Well, he got his dog back, and he made his movie, and what's today is known as Rocky, the Rocky series, is a $1 billion business out of that movie. So I see so many people, young people especially, when they're starting a company, they want to start a company, and they try maybe 6 months, 3 months, a year, and then they give up. And they try something else for 3 months, 6 months, and they give up. So when they look back over their life when they're 30 years old, it looks like a bunch of half-dug holes, you know? And then some of them can stick with it. And the people that stick with it, maybe 2 years, and all of a sudden the business takes off, and they grow a little bit more, they grow a little bit more, and they get a little bit better skill set after they failed 4 or 5 attempts. You know, you don't always hit a home run the first time at bat. They say the major players that hit the most home runs in baseball are also the ones that strike out the most. Because every time they get up the plate, they're swinging for the fences. They're hitting home runs. That's what they want to do. The same thing you want to do with sales and marketing. The number one skill set of an entrepreneur is your ability to sell, bar none. It doesn't matter if you're starting a business or you're working for somebody else's business. The number one way to create income and wealth is through sales and marketing. Marketing is what drives your sales. So marketing is actually yourself. You are your best marketing tool. Number one source of marketing you do is your social proof. My social proof is my LinkedIn page. If you log on to my LinkedIn page, you'll see 500 people in there I've done business with over the past 20 years saying, "James Cottle is a great guy to do business with. He's a great person. He does what he says he's going to do. You want to deal with him." You look on our eBay account, 100% feedback, hundreds of items sold. You look on the other accounts, it says the same thing. You go to ripoffreports.com, you type in Telecom Leasing LLC or Voip International or other companies I've owned. There's no negative feedback surrounding my name or the company's name. So that's how you start a business, and that's how you want to grow a business, is you grow it through yourself. You are the marketing. So all this, everybody thinks they have to come up with gimmicks and advertising for the marketing. you become your best source of marketing by the person you become. And let's talk about the way we develop these traits. A lot of ways you develop these traits is through education. And there's a lot of materials up here on the table I'd like you guys to come look at after this event tonight. These are all materials I've gone through. I went to my first event like this when I was 29 years old. You know, I was behind on the bills, my wife was at home, my daughter was just born, I was behind on my promises. And I went to a Zig Ziglar seminar, and there's this guy from Texas, run around the stage, jumping around all excited. Hey, y'all, come on, you got to be positive, you got to have a positive attitude. You know, and I was like, is this guy crazy or what? You know, so I listened to him for an hour, I gave an hour of my time. And after the event, I went up and I bought his book. And he signed the book, and he put a Bible verse in there. I went home, and wasn't much on the Bible back then. I looked it up, and, you know, said all things are possible. I said, oh, okay, all things are possible. That sounds good, too. So, you know, what he did is he sold me on this idea that there's nothing anybody else in business that has achieved that I myself couldn't achieve myself if I wanted to do that and put my mind to it and decided I would work towards that. So what makes the difference between somebody that gets inspired like me and stays inspired to achieve a certain level of success, and the other people that are inspired in sprints? They're good sprinters. For 3 months they'll work real diligently, and then they'll hit a wall. Times will get tough, and then they'll just take a step back instead of pushing forward. And I think the difference is you have to keep yourself inspired. Self-inspiration. That's why they call it personal development. That's the main goal for you as a salesperson or a business person, is for the remainder of your life, you want to be working on personal development. I know the top business owners and the people in my network, they all do the same thing. Now, instead of just reading books, they're reading each other's books. So I called a friend of mine in Canada the other day. He's going to come out here and speak with us here in a couple of months. His name is Fred Sarkawi, and Jackie didn't put the book out here. It's okay. Anyway, he's a great guy. And he will be coming over here in November to speak with you guys. He's been a professional speaker for 20 years. He's been doing this. And what I want to do is bring a whole network of people from the U.S. to come over here and go through material. So my friend Fred, I've been surfing in Hawaii. I just come back. I just started my company back up. Not having started my business back up then. I've been in an accident. I had a multi-million-dollar company in the U.S. I've been in an accident. I lost 45% of the blood in my body. I was in the hospital. And the doctor said because of the amount of blood loss, you had brain damage because you lost oxygen to your mind. So you're probably going to need to live in a boarding care house for the rest of your life and do this stuff. And my mind went to work debating that subject. At first I started to believe it. I started to think, oh, this is over, this is it. The doctor says so, there's nothing I can do. But what I want to tell you is somebody's opinion of you doesn't have to become your reality unless you let it. And so what I did is I went to work. Every day I get up and I read books and I listen to these tapes. I rouse the definitions of words over and over again. I've got about, I don't know, probably 60, 120 page notebooks from here stacked above my head with writings that I've done over the last 5 years, just from notes I've taken, from definitions of words I wrote in the dictionary. You see, I was disciplined and I was dedicated to my cause. I was dedicated to getting my mind to work again. There was no backing down, there was no stopping, there was no maybe I'll do this, or I'll kind of do this a little bit, or I'll put in some effort over here, but if it gets too tough, then I'll try something else. No, there is, you know, I was in the United States Marine Corps, I was in the Marine Corps. You got bullets flying over your head, there's no time out, there's no breaks, there's no second chances. You got to pull your friends along, you got to pull your brothers along. You get shot, you take a wrap, you wrap it around your leg, you tie it real tight, you go like that, and you keep on going. It's the same way in business. See, in the Marine Corps, our lives depended upon our training. And in business, our families' lives depend upon your training. And I want to be very clear about that. For anybody here that has family, have the children. The way you show up in your business life, the way you show up here tonight, that's the way you always show up in your life wherever you go. Somebody told me that at an event. It was Les Brown's daughter, and she said that. It's like, well, I got to show up differently, don't I? was kind of slacking that day, you know? And that's not the way we show up to our lives. Not if you want to take your life from where you are today to where you want to go to live your dreams. And if you're not living your dreams, it's like, what's the point? You know, we've only got one life to live. This is not a takeover. You know, I asked myself this question the other day. I was laying in bed, and a friend of mine asked me this. He said, Jim, let me ask you this: would the younger version of you be proud of the man you are today? And I thought about that. You know, in some ways, yes. But you know, that younger version of me, the guy that could run 3 miles in 18 minutes and do 20 pull-ups and 80 sit-ups in 2 minutes, it's not the older version of me right now. You know, so we got some work to do. You know, I've got some goals I had to write down the other day too. So I'm no different than anybody else in this room. And you know, I've had ups and downs in businesses. Like I said, I lost it all. I could have retired when I was 45 years old and lost it all at 46 because my assets were less than my liabilities. So when my high income quit coming in, all of a sudden the assets, they went this way. The assets were up here, and the liabilities went like that. So when liabilities went like that, I went under. When I went under, I was in the hospital for 6 months convalescing, you know. They saw it convalescing, but I was reading, writing, I wasn't really exactly convalescing. That's where I launched my last company from, the hospital room. So if I can launch a multi-million-dollar business from a hospital bed, surely you can do it from here at the table where you are tonight. And right now, I want to do a little exercise. I gave you those papers. You can look through them when you leave tonight, but flip them over to the back so they're blank. Okay, and draw a line down the middle. And on the left side of the page, write your positive, right in the middle, positive traits. And on the left side of the page, write negative traits. I'm going to go ahead and join you guys in this too. It'll take about 2 minutes to do this real quick. And if we don't have pens, can you pass out some more pens, Jackie? Because I don't have one either. If you've got a pen, maybe you guys can share amongst each other. If anybody has any extra pens, we could use some extra pens up here. So, hey Jackie, can you go inside and grab a few more? Maybe go inside and maybe grab a few more. Alright, so on the left side of the page, let's start with our positive traits, okay? Let's write down a list of maybe 5 or 10 positive traits that come to your mind real fast. I mean, you don't have to do it fast, but just whatever comes to your mind first, write that down. The positive traits that you think you display in your life on a daily basis. I got it. I think people need a couple more minutes here. Get at least 5 or 10 positive traits and maybe 2 or 3 negative ones going. Should be good. Anybody else need a pen here, or everybody got a pen? All right. My positive traits are disciplined and focused. And negative traits, reckless, crashed my scooter twice in the last 60 days. Not good. And I'm a little careless. I'm gonna ask Carla. Huh? Go ahead and tell us a couple of your positive traits. Huh? You fill up the negative one first?
Yeah, I know. I have like 5 negative. No, so I'm friendly.
Carla just made a good point for us. You know that? It takes 17 positive comments to overcome one negative comment. She filled up her negative traits first. People, fill up your positive traits first. That's what we're working on. It's easy for our minds to go to the negative. That just proves my point. It takes work, it takes focus, it takes discipline to keep us on the positive side of life. That's where we want to stay. That's what we're trying to get to. That is your main job for the rest of your life. You plan to live your dreams and travel around the world and build businesses and raise a family and spend a lot of time with that family and have that family come in number one in your life, and you know, go dog sledding on the glaciers in Alaska with your daughter, and scuba diving in the Bahamas, and travel around Costa Rica, and ride elephant riding in Chiang Mai, Thailand, and whitewater rafting, and going down and visiting one of the 7 wonders of the world right here in your backyard in Palawan. How many people have ever been to Palawan? Oh, everybody should be raising their hand right about now. That place is beautiful. The most picturesque places I've ever been to in my life. Palawan, Alaska. Bar none. It's my right to write that down right next to your positive traits list. Palawan. Okay. Here we go. You got on the jockey shirt? Ready to go? Can you tell us a few of your positive traits you wrote down?
All right. Confident, open, courageous, dominant. Solutions oriented and persistent. Innovative. Innovative.
Okay. And then what are your negative traits?
Put up priorities.
So you're